y'all, what's up, what's going on? So today we are doing our Catfish review. We're going to talk about Bryn and Stephanie. So definitely make sure you guys comment down below. Also make sure that if you haven't yet done so, that you go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Let's keep it on and popping, okay? Catfish, we doing it. So Bryn, he's 23, he's from South Carolina, and he's been talking to Stephanie for about a year or whatever. So he feels like it's time that he wants to meet her because she's always working. She's been working during the pandemic. She's a nurse, and she's also 22. And they both share the fact that they've had issues growing up. Like, he was raised by his grandmother, I believe he said, and she also had issues as well with her home life from when she was small. So the way how he got connected to her in the first place is almost like it was like a blind date, because it was some dude that he met on TikTok. You know how you have people, social media is like everybody's your friend or whatever. So I guess he got familiar with somebody. I mean, I know a good amount of people, not on TikTok, but like on Instagram, I could say, you know, there's some people that I've known for so long that I kind of feel like I know them. So I guess that's the kind of situation he was having. And he said, like, you know, the guy is pretty uplifting and they've been talking for a while. So he hooked him up with Stephanie. So the crazy thing about it is that every time she calls him, her number is always blocked. So it's like, what's up with that? You know, like, why is your number always blocked? She says that the reason why is because she has a work phone, so she's not able to give out the number. Who in their right mind, like, especially if you're a nurse, how you only got one phone? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, some people do have a work phone, but you're also going to have your regular phone. So right there, the story isn't adding up. So he doesn't get any texts or anything like that. It's always like either through Isaac or they just talk on the phone. So Bryn literally has to drop everything whenever she calls so that he doesn't miss the call, because there's no way for him to call her back. So, I mean, that's a crazy life to be living. Like, it's literally like you on call. Like he's like a doctor or something. She's the nurse and he's the doctor because he on call now. Like, it just didn't make any sense. So he said he already said that he loved her, and she said that she loved him as well. So it's like serious. Neve and Cammy, they go ahead, they do the image search and stuff like that. And the only thing that really pops up was like, first of all, the pictures was looking old. Let's talk about that. That was number one. And then number two was that the only thing that really popped up was a Facebook page. And it was like, you know, like some inactive Facebook page, because I think the last time it was used was like in 2013. So it's like, So now they're like, all right, maybe we should try to talk to this Isaac guy, because he seems to be the main connection, because he was the one who obviously knows her because he hooked him up with him. So let's go back to the source. They talk to him, and you know, he's a real person. He makes it sound like she's a real person. She works a lot, and he met her 9 years ago, and they're like 9 years ago. So you met her when she was 12 years old. He's like, yeah, like it's like Mexico out here. Like we party hard. I'm like, I could never talk about I'm sending my kid out at 12 years old to a mother effing house party. Like, who does this? Like, is that normal? No, that's weird. Okay, that's weird. And that means your parents don't care about you. I mean, yeah, she had a weird upbringing, but like, dang. I mean, it could have made sense, I guess, because if she had such a bad life, maybe she was sneaking out the house or whatever. But I don't know. It was just kind of weird and wild. So they ended up talking to, so once they talked to Isaac or whatever, they asked if they could have her phone number. He didn't really do that because he was like, he gotta talk to her, but he was like, she is in a hotel. He gives him the information for the hotel, so they had that. So Neve, like a boss, which I would have done if I was trying to investigate somebody, I would have went ahead and called the hotel. May I speak to her? Blah, 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 blah. And that's exactly what he did. And they actually connected him to that room. So it's like, oh, Isaac is actually telling the truth. Like, maybe we could actually believe him. But Cammy wasn't with the shits. Like, she was like, I don't really know. I'm not really too convinced with this guy. But Neva's like, well, some of these things are making sense because we called her. It actually, like, normally they would have been like, oh, we don't have this person, or I don't see this person on my list, or something along those lines. But they actually connected him to a room. Even though nobody answered, they connected him. So the next day, ring, 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 Stephanie calls, right? And she says to them that she didn't really think that the whole situation was that serious. She thought that Brian knew this. And I'm like, it's not like y'all was having two different conversations, because from the way Brian was talking, he talked like he sprung, like she got him good and he's ready to like risk it all and get married or something. Like, you know, he's like in love. He ready, you know what I mean? He ready to move on to the next phase in life and, you know, get his little stuff wet, you know? I mean, it really sounded like he was ready to go on to the next level, you know what I'm saying? So for her to say like, oh, I didn't really think that it was that serious. I thought Brian knew this. And I'm actually in, like, she pretty much said she's in a whole relationship and she married. So, and she has a family. So, yeah. But yet, she never told him any of this, and they was talking for like a whole year. So, yeah, now at this point, it looks like she pretty much played with his heart. She's from what Neve is seeing, he's like, you know, they're both thinking like, you know, it kind of looks like she's an older woman who kind of played with his heart. And now she doesn't want to like go any further. She just kind of wants to end it here. But they're like, you know, you need to tell him this. Like, we don't want to tell him. You know, they did tell him some of the situation. And he did look really disappointed because this is somebody he's invested time, energy into and actually saw himself possibly being with. So it really crushed him. I mean, this is why you can't be falling for people randomly that you don't know from the internet. And I say this every episode. Like, if you didn't see them on FaceTime, you didn't see them on WhatsApp video call or Samsung video call or WeChat, or whatever the hell is out there, Facebook video, Instagram video. Like, if you ain't seen them on none of this, then you should not be falling for nobody based off of, hello? Hi. Like, no, don't do it, y'all. Don't do it. This is 2021. Like, this should not even still be happening anymore. I feel like this should be a non-existent thing. Unless you, like, straight up have, like, an Obama phone. And even with that, like, you gotta know somebody where you could be like, yo, let me borrow your phone real quick. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Just to me, it just seems like crazy. Anyway, so she finally gets on a Zoom call with them after saying she didn't really want to do it. She didn't want to mess up her life, her family, blah, 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 blah. So she came on. She was apologizing. It was all for them on there. And she sounded very nervous. Like, she's like, you know, I just kind of wanted to say that I'm sorry to Brian. And she just didn't want to. Yo, it's like some crazy noises in the hallway, y'all. I don't know. I think it's a baby. I don't know. But it came at like the most weirdest moment. Anyway, let's try to stay focused. So she didn't want to come on camera. It was just showing from like here down, like her legs and her shoes and no head. So she was like the headless woman. And she was just kind of like moving her hands and saying what she had to say. But then at some point she just was like, yo, I can't do this anymore. Like the voice just switched up and I'm like, what the hell was that? Like, what? So then come to find out, she requests to just talk to Neve and Cammy without Brian being present at that point. So they put him on the back burner, put him out in the waiting room and Zoom waiting. And then they talk and boom, 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 boom. Who was it? None other than the infamous Isaac from TikTok. Isaac the TikToker. That's who the hell it was. The person who freaking set up everything. So he was like, he's been the person pretending to be her for all this time. And the person that was actually there was his bestie. Well, he didn't say bestie, but it was like his friend or whatever. But I guess she got to the point where she was just done. Maybe she felt stupid. She's like, nah, I can't be a part of this. Like, this is too, like, Lifetime movie story-ish for me. Like, I don't want to be a part of this. And then I'm going to come out being a bad person. Like, nah, chill. So, and the whole time, it was actually, what's his name? Isaac / Stephanie's voice. So, he was the one doing, like, the little voiceovers while she was just moving her hands. Yo, he was straight doing the voiceover like it was a YouTube video. I can't. So yeah, he said that the reason why he came up with this particular scenario was because it would probably be less embarrassing for Brian instead of, oh, you've been talking to a gay man for over a year, you know, and you didn't realize it. No, let's come up with a story. She has a whole family. It's a scandal. She doesn't want to be put out there. So, boom, we got you covered. But obviously, his plan kind of went to the craps, you know, it went to shit. So, he wasn't able to do that anymore. But, like, when he gave his explanation and everything, you know, he kind of said that he works at the hotel, so that's how they was able to call, ask for Stephanie, and they actually routed him to a phone because he created a whole room. Like, I guess he figured, like, okay, if I give them the name of the hotel, which I work at, and I give them this information, they're most likely going to try to get in contact with her since I'm not giving them her phone number. So let me be one step ahead and think like them, you know? So that's how he was able to have them call, and boom, 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 it actually went to somebody's room. So, yeah, Isaac is like, well, you know, he seems like he's an open guy and love is love. Like, no, bitch, don't try to use it like that, because now you being sneaky about it. And Cammy wasn't with it. Like, she was like, no, because what you're doing right now is you're trying to turn somebody who you know is a heterosexual, you're trying to turn them into a homosexual, or you're trying to turn them into a gay person, and that's not fair to him, you know? So Brian, when they all did get back on, you know, obviously it's revealed and Brian wasn't really with it. But Isaac is like, you know, you're acting brand new. I'm the same person you've known. He's like, don't try to act like you wasn't trying to talk to me when I was myself. He's like, I wasn't. He was like, yeah, but you sent kissy emojis. He was like, I might have, but he was like, it wasn't under those intentions. I don't know, the whole little kissy emoji thing, that's a little weird to me, so I can't even lie. Like, they try to brush past that. I don't know about you guys, but I did think that was a little like, maybe. And he didn't deny it, so, like, why you sending him kissy emoji? Like, I don't know any man that sends another man, like, regardless of how cool you are, like, yo, that's my bro, let me send you a kissy emoji. I've never seen that, so I don't know. I could be wrong, though. You know, I don't know every guy out there, but the ones that I know, I haven't seen that. You know, the heterosexual versions, but I don't know. No judgment. Maybe that's the thing. But anyway, so yeah, he was just saying like, oh, you're acting brand new, and Cammy, once again, you know, she was like the Avenger. She stuck up again, and she's just like, but you can't. It's like what you did was pretty much you saw that he wasn't really fully interested in you as Isaac. So you try to create somebody that he would possibly be interested in, so then you could possibly switch it up, and then later on in the end, you could try to see if you could anchor him in. You know what I mean? Like, that's unacceptable, because that's the stigma out here, is that a lot of gay men try to turn straight men gay, you know? So So it's like you're kind of playing into it and you're making it look bad, you know? And he said straight up and down, like, that's what he's done several times in the past and it's worked for him. So he assumed it was going to work again. Like, dude, not everybody is the same. And maybe those people were already curious. Maybe they wanted to try something new. Maybe they was sick and tired of all the women cheating on them. Who knows? Like, they might have been, like, into, like, taboo and all kind of wild stuff, but, you know, wanted to keep it on the hush-hush. You never know, you know? They were down for whatever, but obviously this dude, he's into what he's into, and you can't really just be like, no way, I'm gonna switch you up. Like, no, you can't do that all the time. So, you know, hopefully he said he gonna hang up his little Stephanie thing, but then he also made a little thing where he was like, but, you know, if Brian ever wants to come and play around or whatever, I could always take it back out. Like, no, because now you still kind of, like, I don't know. I don't think that would be a great friendship because I feel like he's always going to be attracted to him. He's always probably going to make, like, little sexual innuendos. But, I mean, if Brian's okay with it, then, you know, do you, whatever. But it did show later on that they do have a good friendship from it. So, you know, at least I guess something good, you know, they got a bromance out of it, if nothing more. Or, you know, if anything more, maybe they just don't want to say it. But, you know, at least they was able to kind of uncover that. And maybe now Brian could actually move on and get somebody that's, you know, that he's really, truly interested in, you know. Even though I know that now his bestie is going to be Isaac. Isaac's going to be like, nah, she ain't good for you. Nobody's going to be good for him at this point. You know what I'm saying? That's how those friends be on the low when they either hating on you or they want you. But we'll see. Or maybe we won't, because who knows if they'll update us, but whatever. Alright guys, so let me know what you thought about this episode down below. Thanks for watching, rocking with me, and discussing this episode. But yeah, I don't know. Brian needs to get his little act together and stop trying to stick with the person that you with, because he in a whole relationship, and he just said it was open. But who said anybody else want to be in your open relationship? Like, no. Anyways, I'll see y'all later.